What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. My name is Mike, aka Operation DX, and welcome to the 6th episode of PlanetBase. During the end of the previous episode, we got our landing pad built, and we actually saw a ship land down and drop off a worker. So I believe that gives us a total of 4 workers, which is always helpful because we'll start to get things done just a little bit faster. But we definitely want some more. Anyways, we're here looking at our biolab, and it seems that it's being a bit neglected, which kind of makes sense because there are food stockpiles kind of sitting behind them because we only just recently finished up our cargo facility. So all that stuff needs to be moved over to the cargo facility, and then I'm sure the biologists will get back to work inside of the biolab, making sure the plants are all good and functioning and all that stuff. Alright, so I think I'm gonna kick off my thought process with this particular episode. Oh geez, we already have an injured worker. Well, that's what happens when we get more workers in the facility, so we got to make sure that we're producing more medkits. So we may have to turn that lab back on sooner than later. Wow, I sidetracked immediately when I was about to bring up a new topic. That's the way I roll, baby. That's the way I roll. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to kick this off by talking about some of the recent comments that I've gotten in this series, because sometimes it seems that I get comments and people aren't watching the series. They're just making comments. They'll watch a little bit of maybe one episode and then, you know, they're making a comment about the series. So that's cool. You know, I always appreciate review and critique of my work and helpful comments that are, you know, if I'm doing something really not good or I'm saying things that are not accurate, I always appreciate those kind of comments. And I usually, during the next episode, immediately correct them, or within the next couple of episodes, I correct myself if I've made a mistake. I have no qualms whatsoever because, you know, I'm human, I make mistakes. And I say things that are completely wrong. And I don't mind you guys catching me up. But recently, there are 3 particular comments that it's not that they bother me. It's just that they seem to have not watched through the series. All right, so let's address them. All right, so the first comment was dealing with radiation and how radiation works and the sickness and all of that. And I've already talked about that twice, I believe, how to mitigate that and how to, like, save the people who have been irradiated. I had mentioned that, yes, I need more beds in the med bay, and I need a security or command console so I can do the yellow alert thing. I've already talked about that in the series, but thank you for the comment anyways. Yes, I know how to deal with the radiation situation. Also, it is helpful to have the control center up and running so that way you get a preemptive warning about radiation coming inbound. That way you can sound the yellow alert in the security panel once you build the control center, and that way you can keep your colonists safe. Another thing that I'm going to try to do to mitigate that in this particular episode is I'm going to place down an airlock near my mining facility, because it's usually the workers that get irradiated. I don't know why I laugh. It's not funny. The poor workers, they always are the ones that get hurt. All right. The second comment was about the upper right bar and how there's a button up there that you can hit to see your stock levels and how many of each item you have. And I've addressed this as well in the series. I've already talked about this, and you'll probably see me do it throughout the later parts of the series. But in the beginning of the series, it's not really such a pressing issue because you can physically see pretty much all the stuff that you have throughout your base. This only becomes really a relevant thing when you start to get a just gargantuan base and you don't know all the stuff you have. So that's why I normally keep it on the panel that it's on because I already know what I've got going on. Right now I can see all my stock levels in my little stock area. The biolab's like right next to it right there. Pretty much we can see everything we've got going on the base in one screen kind of thing. So yes, I don't really need to switch that, but I do, again, appreciate the comment. Yes, I am very aware that I can press the button in the upper right and see all of my stock levels. Now, the third and final comment was a little less kind. And that's the way it goes on YouTube. But I don't mind, you know, that's just the way it is. That's the nature of it is. Everybody is an internet tough guy, but that's okay. All right, so the third comment was they didn't like the way I have structured my base. There apparently are too many holes, and when things get damaged, you know, things get broken off, and I should have hallways connecting different zones together to make sure that people can get to other zones faster. This actually was a comment in the third episode, and for the most part, in the first episode, I had my base all structured out, so not such a big deal, really. But the thing of it is you don't realize, you know, what I'm doing here. Yes, I'm thinking about these things, but I'm also thinking about future expansions for the base and not taking up room in certain areas that I need. So what am I talking about here? Well, the comment was basically saying how my base is inefficient and I have these areas of vulnerability in my base. So, for example, if my oxygen generator gets struck by a comet, then everything from that area on is going to be cut off because there's not a secondary hallway connecting that to another area to keep the oxygen running. But usually the engineer and the bot are Johnny on the spot, with the exception of right now, because the bot is hanging out there with a red wrench symbol above his head because the engineer hasn't got to him because he's probably sleeping right now. So I would probably be eating my words right now at the moment, but the engineer may get up and actually fix this situation if it did occur. And then again, if you look at my canteen, it's in the same situation. So if the canteen gets hit, it's cutting off the cargo facility, the dormitory, the labs, all that. And yeah, I totally get it. But I am planning on putting things in certain areas. I may restructure the base by like taking down certain modules and making bigger versions of them, that sort of thing. It's not such a pressing thing in my mind. The biggest thing you're thinking about in the beginning is making yourself self-sufficient. That is like the most important thing. The way I currently see it is if they take a half a second longer to actually walk down a hallway in order to drop something off, that's really not such a pressing thing for me. So again, I appreciate the comment. It's, you know, a logical comment. It makes sense. The way it was worded could have been a little more friendly. I do appreciate that. You don't have to be like, you suck at this game. Rawr! You know what I'm saying? It doesn't need to be like that. Because you can just tell me and I'll address it. And if it's a pressing issue for me, I will, again, I'll talk about it. I'll fix it. And that'll be that, you know, kind of thing. So no need to be a tough guy, okay? Anyway, it looks like we might actually have a bit of a power situation for this particular night in our colony, because our power supplies are dwindling. And hey, look at that, we're welding the solar panels. So I may have been wrong about the whole wind turbine diminishing faster than the solar panels. It's probably at the exact same rate. All right, all kinds of stuff going on right now. Fantastic. Drop off 2 workers. 2 workers. Oh. All right, so the ship came in, dropped off a single worker. That gives us a total of 6. So I want at least 2 more workers. That should be sufficient. And then I can start thinking about some other people coming into the colony. Now, maybe some biologists, you know, probably medics. The next thing I probably should bring in is a couple more medics. Yeah, see that? I'm getting that thing in the lower left corner telling me my power is critical. So things are going to start shutting down. Fortunately, we are really close to the morning hours, but you can see that the power collector right now is in dire straits. If I click on that, I don't even want to click on it, but I'm going to have to click on that thing and see where we're at. All right, so I don't understand why miners do that. So it's like it's not just the engineers, it's the miners too. They come out of the airlock, they go back in, they're like, ah, forget it. It's too cold outside, right? Just like that one comment I got. Forget it. All right, so we're pushing down into the low thousands, less than 1,000 power inside of the power collector. It is going to be really, really close whether I lose power or not. It's only going to be for just a moment though. As soon as the solar array starts turning, I'll be all right. All right, it's turning. Less than 100 power, and oh, things shut down. Lost power to 5 structures. Once that thing turns and gets into the sunlight, everything will start coming back online. So I have myself a decision to make here. Now, there are 2 pressing things that I just want to get done right now. So I can either build a secondary power collector, which would definitely stop the base from shutting down. It's all because of the wind turbine. It's the wind turbine's fault, because we haven't really added too much to the base at all. The base has been, for the most part, with the exception of the stock facility, which I think takes like 1 power, we haven't really done much. So there shouldn't be any reason why all of a sudden we're running out of power. It's the wind, man. I blame it on the wind. All right, so yeah, I want to get the airlock up too. Decisions, decisions, decisions. All right. You know, and I've also got to think about the structure. You know, because I need to get another airlock actually pointed in this direction as well. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the work as far as upgrading my power systems. So I need to get an airlock, probably coming out of the processing facility. Yeah, and I need to slant them kind of like I did just there. But all right, yeah, so I changed my mind there. I want the O2, and it takes a little less resources to actually build. I'm just kind of moving it around a little bit, see how close I can get it to the mining facility. There are only certain locations. You can't stick it anywhere you want. For some reason, the hallway has got to be like a certain length or something, or the connection needs to do a certain thing. Also, there's not really an orientation button in this game, or you know how like some games you can hit like page up and page down and actually like spin your building around. There's not so much of that going on. So the airlock is going to orient to the hallway. So that's kind of how that works. So you don't have to worry about, like, if it looks like it's in a wonky position, it's not a big deal. It'll automatically orient once you get it down. It's pretty much the position of the hallway is the way it's going to be. You just got to be aware of that. Alright, okay, well, maybe I'm wrong again, because the wind turbine is once again being repaired by the engineer, so I don't know, man, I don't know. Fortunately, we've had a little time since we built our landing pad, so we got some stuff done, and we have some extra workers doing some stuff, so it's making things move along a little more smoothly, which is good. And that should be the case for hopefully the rest of the series, and I can get things built. But of course, you know, bigger buildings take more resources and all of that stuff, so just something we have to be aware of. Okay, so we pretty much have all the resources we need to get that airlock finished, but okay, good. I was gonna say, man, dude, engineer, if you pass up that bot, you're... Oh man, even though he's thirsty, he needs to get something to drink. You know, and I actually need to put down another drinking fountain inside the canteen, so that way the more colonists that are coming in, it's just easier for them to have access to. Give me 2. Ooh, it gave me 3. Okay, well that's all I really need. So that gives me what? Is that 9? Is that 9 workers? Let's double check. No, it's 8. Okay, so my numbers in my mind were off. All right, so do we need more workers? Don't we need more workers is the question. I don't think we do. I think 8 is enough. All right, so I just need a moment to think about this for a second. So I'm thinking maybe biologist is the next crew I'm going to bring down, because they're the ones that can make the synthetic meat. And we're pushing into that point where people are going to start getting malnutrition issues and using up med kits for not only the workers that are getting injured in the mine, but crewmates that are not eating a sufficient diet of perhaps protein or whatever you can make out of that bioplastic. All right, cool. So we got the airlock built. It's pretty much right next to the mine. That is a good thing. Just got to wait for the air to fill up there, which it just did. And yeah. All right, so I'm still thinking. I was like, am I going to change my mind about the medics? I don't know. Now, just that I'm thinking about it, other requests for me to do. In the previous episode, I got a request to actually hit the button to put the dome up on all the buildings. But as you see, like as I move away from the buildings, it's like an LOD thing. You can see the dome go up on some of the other buildings. Unless you just want to see the colony, it's in its entirety with just the domes pretty much up on everything. Anyway, sorry guys, I know some of you like those longer episodes, but I'm going to have to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.